Well, hello everyone, and welcome back. We are here today, as promised, to do the review of the recently buffed Drakel Warlord class. And I tell you what, this one is actually pretty good nowadays. Just as we originally thought, overall this one is going to get that rank B. PvP is an A tier, solo B, and farming is D. For reasons we will get into in just a moment. It's got fairly solid DPS and it is a very easy and straightforward class to use. The class is available to grab from Join Death Pit for 2,000 adventure coins, or alternatively, if you are a member, you're able to go along and farm it for free. It only took me about 15 minutes to go along and actually get it. Anyway, let us talk skills. So, Strength and Strike is your ability to. All of them cost no mana, which is absolutely brilliant, and the DPS on this one is to only one target. Reduces enemy damage by 8% for 10 seconds, and it will stack up to 5. Your third ability is Rage Strike, a medium range, and it applies to 3 targets. It stuns the enemy for 1 second and applies a heal over time for 12 seconds. Next up is Strikes of Expertise. Applies Prepared Strike. Your next 2 autos done within the next 5 seconds always hit, and they will be a crit. Next we have Enter the Arena. This one is an infinite range attack and it will hit only the 1 target. Deals crit damage and applies a focus for 1 second. Yes, it does technically taunt this class, even though it's really short. It also reduces incoming damage by 50% and increases your crit damage by 100% for 15 seconds. It will not miss. Your passives increase DPS with crits by 15%, reduce physical damage taken by 30%, and the rank 10 passive is an endurance increase by 50%. If you're someone that wants to see the total breakdown of those skills, which is posted by the class council, you can check that out on their Twitter page or in my previous video. But for now, let us talk about soloing. So this class really is quite simple to use. Generally, the combo I seem to be using is 5-3-4-2, but that's just me. You may find it works slightly better for you in other ways, and obviously PvP scenarios will change that up ever so slightly. Drakel Warlord is actually quite a good soloing class. You do fairly consistent damage. I'm always doing in the region of that 2 to 5k bracket, and that's without any sort of forge enhancements chucked on this. Obviously, if you want to scale this class up with extra enhancements, then yes, you're going to be doing considerably more damage, and actually suddenly this class would be heading towards the top of the A tier. Now, the reason we've gone B tier with this, as far as soloing is concerned, is purely because your damage is never going to be sufficient enough for you to actually want to use this. I'm just quickly going to equip Cav, just for an example, so you can see the actual damage difference, and again, this is just going base class on it. However, having said all that, chucking on some forge enhancements like I've done in the background, which is Acheron, you can see we've easily made it into an A tier class. However, if you are a free player, your options are a lot more limited, and you're probably not going to be doing quite so much damage, particularly if you're lower level. Now let us move on to farming, because this one is not a farming class, hence why it is nearly ranked as low as the low. However, there is that multi-skill on 3, but it's only medium range, so unless you're in a tiny room, that's going to be no use to you. In case you didn't notice, I've whacked on the animations throughout the farming section, and as you can see, that skill 5-1 is pretty wacky. Now let us move on to PvP, which is where I personally feel this class excels, and that is why it has made it into the A tier. Obviously, if you come across stunners, it is going to be a little bit of a problem. As this fight was going quite well at first against Artifact Hunter, I thought, oh yeah, all under control, and then boom, stun. However, if you can get round that stun mechanic, you will have quite a lot of luck with this class. Don't forget, you've got your own stun on skill 3. Although it doesn't last very long, it can give you just enough breathing space to get through, because you do deal an awful lot of damage, especially when you're in a PvP fight, doing that 3 to 5k consistently. We also come up against a Great Thief. When I loaded in, I thought, oh no, this is going to go horrifically, but we did get some luck again in this particular battle, and the class did come into its own. I really do find it's quite an enjoyable one to use in PvP. The real perk Drakel Warlord has is the fact that it doesn't use any mana for any of its skills, which is literally like a godsend when you go into a PvP match, as a lot of classes will naturally just run out unless of course you're running mana vamp. I came up against another Drakel Warlord. Obviously I can't say what enhancements were being used, what forge enhancements, etc, but all I know is I got absolutely battered. So folks, that is Drakel Warlord. It's 2,000 adventure coins if you are not a member, and you know what? I honestly don't think if I was in that situation, I'd be spending 2,000 adventure coins on it. Odds are you've already got a class that's good in PvP, and you've probably also got one that is good at soloing. This will just be another bit of clutter for you to collect. However, if you're a member, it is definitely worth 15 minutes of your time going along, picking this class up, because as I said, it is enjoyable to use. The damage isn't all that high when you compare it to fighting bosses, but when you go into PvP, it really is quite enjoyable. Thank you all very much for watching. Please do leave a like and of course subscribe, and I'll see you all again incredibly soon.